I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me any question. Don't hold back, whether it's injectables, lifestyle, skincare, whatever, business. Don't hold back, ask me anything. And one of my goals is to show up more authentically on social media, meaning don't worry about the perfect background or the perfect light in front of me or glam or anything like that. Just post consistently and show up authentically, you flawed, imperfect, and just real and raw. And I have an hour before I have to pick up my daughter, so I figured this is the perfect time to just sit. I have all your questions right here to just sit and answer all the questions authentically. I'm not going to hold back, so here we go, one by one. First question: if you could only have 2 skincare products, what would they be? It's really hard to narrow it down to just 2, but if I had to choose 2 or 3, it would obviously be a cleanser. I mean, a cleanser is a given, like you have to cleanse your face, but it would honestly be sunscreen and tretinoin for me. I think what's really important about skincare is it's not one size fits all, and it really is about finding the products that work for your skin. So don't ever listen to a provider that says that my skincare regimen is the holy grail. It's not true, because what works for Betty might not work for Amy. So it's important to figure out what does work for you. But the top 3 products that I would choose is just a gentle cleanser, a sunscreen, and a retinoid. There is nothing that can come close to what a retinoid or tretinoin or a retinol can do for your skin when it comes to pigment, texture, fine lines, you name it. It's the holy grail of anti-aging. Number 2, have you ever worked with a marketing company to get new clients, and how can I fill my books? Well, first and foremost, I don't own my own practice. I work for the Village Institute of Plastic Surgery, so I don't own my own practice. I haven't hired a marketing company to elevate my own personal brand. I've truly leaned on social media the most. Social media is the holy grail of being able to acquire new patients. It is such an amazing, amazing tool, and it's free, not free of time, but free of cost. But time is money, the reality is. But social media, in my opinion, is a non-negotiable in our industry, especially if you're just starting out, even more so if you're just starting out. But social media is a way to position yourself as the expert before a patient even meets you. It's a way to build trust with your patient before they meet you. And the reality is that the provider down the street that might be less talented than you, that might be less skilled than you, less educated, investing less in their training, is going to acquire that patient if they are consistently showing up on social media, because your patient does not know the difference between an educated provider and a less educated provider. So if you are not showing up on social media consistently and wondering what's going on, why do they look like they're filling up their books and I can't acquire patients, start showing up consistently. And if it's something that you struggle with, I struggle with showing up consistently. If it's something that you struggle with, try to find something that you enjoy talking about. I realize that I'm never going to be the dancing singer, funny meme injector on social media. For me, I love educating. I love sharing my knowledge, my lessons, my experiences, my mistakes. I love educating both patients and providers. So for me, I found it to be less of a task, less of a chore when I show up authentically myself. So that organically comes over time, trying to figure out what your brand is, but try to show up consistently. And if you're concerned about speaking in the camera, or you're feeling insecure about your before and afters, start filming you just injecting the patient with a text overlay of some educational narrative or content that you can put over top you with a video of you injecting. The more consistently you show up, the more naturally you're going to come across as an expert even before you're an expert. The reality is that when we start injecting, we have to fake it till we make it. And it took years and years and years for me to truly authentically feel that I was showing up as somebody that's truly experienced. So start finding things that you enjoy talking about, start finding things that you enjoy posting about, and try to get into a habit of showing up consistently. But it's a lot easier said than done. Number 3, what's the most uncomfortable truth about the aesthetics industry? Oh, this is a bold question, but I'm kind of here for it. Sorry, there's a plane going over me. An uncomfortable truth about this industry, I would say, if I'm speaking to a patient, is the reality is that there are providers out there that are going to recommend things to you that don't necessarily do anything for you and are quite gimmicky, but they're really focused on the money versus your results and your happiness and your budget. So you need to make sure that you are going to a provider that really has your best interest in mind. If your provider never says no to you, that's kind of a red flag, in my opinion. It might be an unpopular opinion, but I am all about less is more, the undetectable injectable, and I am never, ever, ever going to perform a treatment on a patient that I would not be excited about doing myself, or that I don't think they're truly going to have a transformation from it. Now, some things are an instant gratification, like hyperdilute radius and sculpture, that you have to take time to see the results and the benefit. I'm talking about strange, gimmicky treatments that do nothing for you but cost you money and fill your injector's pockets. So really do your research on your provider. Make sure that it's truly a relationship and a team effort, and they're looking at you as more of a long-term patient. I want to grow old with my patients. I want to keep them looking refreshed and rejuvenated versus overfilled and shoving gel after gel after gel in them. So a harsh truth about this industry is that some providers are just chasing a paycheck and not necessarily having your best interest in mind. Next question. I'm a new injector. How long did it take you to feel confident injecting? Oh, I love this question. Honestly, I feel like year 4 of injecting is when I finally got my groove, when I wasn't necessarily feeling anxious about my schedule and what patients were coming in or what treatments they were going to ask me for. I feel like year 4 is when I had a good stride and good confidence, and where I felt like I was truly elevating my patient's beauty and really doing it from like a holistic standpoint. It takes a long time to really build that aesthetic eye when you're looking at a patient and saying, okay, we're really seeing in the future as injectors, right? If I put a little filler here, what's it going to do to her features? Really being able to like have that like global aesthetic eye takes time. In the beginning, you're doing like a half syringe here, a half syringe here, and now if a patient comes in, I can confidently say that's going to need about 5 syringes, but it'll be a beautiful transformation, a little in the preauricular, a little in the cheek, the temple. Really, I've said this 10 times, but like holistically treating your patient versus just shoving lip filler in. And that takes time. But what I think is even more important is no matter how long you've been injecting, it's so crucial to keep a healthy amount of fear, to always respect anatomy, and to always constantly invest in your education, in your training. Your skills can always improve, and there's always something new coming out that we need to learn. So an injector is never really an expert or a master, because there's always something new coming that they're going to have to learn and be a novice to, right? So I say all that to say year 4 is when I found my groove. It takes time. It's okay to be nervous. You have to expose yourself to hundreds of faces to really build that confidence and to learn skin and tissue and how it performs. And there is no shortcut to becoming that expert that you're hoping to be. It's just showing up every day, placing a little product here, being like, ooh, I don't know if I like that. Let me not do that next time, doing something different that next time, and then being like, oh, I really like that. Let me do that again. And all of a sudden your style kind of evolves over time, and you wake up one day and you're feeling really confident about what you can offer patients. So year 4 is where I found my groove, but I'm always staying on top of my trainings, always trying to learn and improve my skills, always. Next question. What is a treatment that you used to love and you no longer offer anymore? I need to put my armor on with this one, because I feel like there's going to be some backlash, but it's how I feel. This is my personal preference. But the treatment that I used to offer and loved that I no longer offer, based on evidence-based research that has come out, is hyperdilute radius for liquid BBLs. And hear me out. Since Alec McCarthy's, Dr. Suarez, and Dr. Akash's publication came out showing what happens to the G' After you dilute Radiesse, after a 1-to-1 ratio, it crashes out about 90%. Don't quote me on the 90, but it crashes out significantly. We lose that G prime, because remember, those particles aren't chemically cross-linked. So when you dilute it, you really thin it down. You still get that powerful biostimulation and regeneration from it, stimulating collagen, elastin, proteoglycans, all of those things, but you are not getting the volumization. So where I started straying from hyperdilute Radiesse for liquid BBLs is because of the longevity. I haven't seen the longevity that I'm hoping for, that patients are hoping for, and that the cost should offer you. I mean, these are very expensive treatments. And like I said, I'm not taking anything away from the collagen and elastin stimulation that you're getting, but you're not getting that volumization, that liquid BBL, va-va-voom booty that you're hoping for long term. You need multiple treatments, and I still don't think that you're going to get the augmentation that you're hoping for. So for me, I've kind of fallen out of favor of that, just because I was hoping for more longevity, and I haven't really seen that with my patients. But there are other exciting treatments coming out, like Alliclay that came out, which is the cadaver fat that's purified and created into an injectable product. There are great things coming out, but when it comes, I love hyperdilute and Radiesse for all things face, but when it comes to liquid BBLs, that's one that I've fallen out of favor for. Last question, and then I'll probably make a part 2. But how do you juggle being a present mom, a wife, and growing your brand? This could be a video in and of itself, but I struggle. I struggle every day to balance all of it. If I'm working on one thing, something else is failing. If I'm the older I get and the more I grow, the more I realize there is no such thing as balance. But one thing I've learned over time is we waste a lot of time. We waste time scrolling, we waste time watching TV. And yes, you need those things to have a little like mental shutdown, but I've learned to not waste time. My days are packed or built out by like the 30-minute increments. I try to utilize my time so much, and when you start really building out your day by 30-minute increments, like literally I'll say 3 to 3:30 wake up, because it takes me some time. 3:30 to 5:30 edit book. 5:30 to 6:30 workout. 6:30 to 7:30 shower, get dressed, get Brooklyn up for school. 7:30 to 8:30 drop off Brooklyn. 9:30 to 10:30 drive to work, set up. Like my day, every day is built out like that. When you do it like that, you realize how much time you waste when you're not super structured. And I noticed that. I noticed how much downtime I had, and I would say like, how am I going to get everything done? How am I going to get everything done? Well, because we waste a lot of time. So example, this video right here, I could film it in my YouTube studio with my pretty background, but I'm like, no, I have an hour before I pick up my daughter. I need to get it done and cross it off my list. So you really want to be more efficient with your time. I don't have it all together. I struggle. I cry sometimes when I feel like I'm not a present mom in a moment, or I cry because I feel like my career isn't going where I want it to go, or we're all human, right? And I'm a very tough critic of myself, and I know we all are in this industry. So be kind to yourself. But I would say my biggest piece of advice is probably try to build out your day so you're not wasting time. I do things at red lights. I edit content on the treadmill. I try to tackle multiple birds with one stone. If I'm walking on a treadmill, you better believe I'm sending emails. I am being productive, because we only have a certain amount of hours in the day. So my advice is try to utilize your time as efficiently as possible. And the reality is get used to being tired. If you're trying to build something, you're going to have to wake up early and maybe work before the kids wake up, or work after the kids go to bed at night. You're going to be tired. And if that's your only time, then it does mean the harsh reality is getting less sleep if those are the only times that you can work. And that's my reality. So I wake up like 3:30 and work until 5:30 to get stuff done because my day during the day doesn't allow it. And I do want to be a present mom and wife. So I'll do a part 2 and answer the rest of these.